Today we're breaking down episode 2 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Hard Salt Beef. The title basically means it's about survival. It's about what knights like Dunk endure while the noble lords feast on thick, rare, bloody meat in their pavilions. This episode asks a brutal question. What does it cost to chase a dream when the world keeps telling you that you're not worthy? Let's dive into it. Now, HBO being HBO, the episode opens exactly where you don't expect, with Sir Arlen relieving himself in the woods, while Dunk narrates about how great Sir Arlen was, a true knight, peaceable, skilled, never complained. We're shown the reality, an old man with an enormous, well, let's just say the gods compensated him for other shortcomings. That's the harsh reality of being a hedge knight. You can live honorably, serve faithfully, and die completely forgotten. Dunk begins his quest to find someone who remembers Sir Arlen and will vouch for him, but no one seems to remember him. Lord Leo Longthorn Tyrell, who Dunk specifically remembers Sir Arlen saying was his favorite lord to serve. And what does Tyrell say, through a mouthful of sour leaf? I knew him not. Egg's assessment is brutal, but accurate. He can't have been a very good knight if no one remembers him. The episode cleverly references the Battle of Redgrass Field, the climactic battle of the Blackfire Rebellion, where 10,000 men died. Sir Arlen fought there. His nephew and squire, Roger of Pennytree, died there. And still, 13 years later, the great lords don't remember Sir Arlen, and Dunk is starting to realize that's probably his fate too. After watching Dunk grovel unsuccessfully, Egg finally snaps. You are a knight of the realm, sir. You can say fuck their permission, right into the lists, call out Longthorn Tyrell, and turn his arsehole into a lancehole. Although this is unbecoming language for a squire, especially for a kid. In the next scene, we hear the trumpet sound and the banners unfurl. The royal procession enters Ashford Meadow. The herald announces them with all their formal titles, almost forgets about Prince Maekar. At this moment in history, the Targaryens don't have dragons. They lost their last dragon during the reign of Aegon III over a century ago. So how do they maintain control? King Baeron II married a Dornish princess, Miria Martell, finally bringing Dorne into the Seven Kingdoms through marriage instead of conquest. That's why we see Targaryens with brown and black hair, notably Prince Baelor Breakspear, the heir to the throne. During House of the Dragon, dark-haired Targaryen children were viewed as illegitimate bastards, Rhaenyra strongboys. But now, it's a strength. It shows the dynasty adapting, uniting the realm through alliances instead of fire and blood. But not everyone is happy about this. The Blackfire Rebellion, which ended just 13 years ago, was partially fueled by resentment over Dornish influence at court. Many questioned King Daeron II's legitimacy and preferred his half-brother Daemon Blackfire, who looked like a proper Targaryen, with silver-gold hair and wielded Aegon the Conqueror's sword. But that's a topic for another day. Dunk encounters Aerion Targaryen at the stables, and he's entitled, dismissive, the kind of prince who kicks stable boys and expects peasants to grovel. In the stables, Dunk meets Sir Roland Crakehall and Sir Donald of Duskendale, who appear in actual white armor, and not the gold and white hybrid from Game of Thrones, or the silver and white from House of the Dragon, but pure, gleaming white armor straight from the books. The exchange with Sir Donald is important here, because Dunk assumes he's lowborn like him, someone who worked his way onto the Kingsguard through merit, which Donald confirms, the same way my family became crabbers. Dunk takes this as inspiration and gets motivated. But later, Egg tells him the truth. His father owns half the crabbing fleets in Westeros. Then we see Dunk sneak into the hall of Lord Ashford, where Dunk overhears Prince Baelor Breakspear and Prince Maekar arguing about Maekar's missing sons, his eldest, Daeron the Drunken, and Aegon, his youngest. Maekar is pissed, impatient, and bitter, while Baelor is calm, diplomatic, suggesting that Daeron probably just wandered off again. Baelor Breakspear is everything a king should be: wise, just, merciful. He earns his nickname by defeating Daemon Blackfire at a joust at his aunt's wedding when he was just 17. At the Battle of Redgrass Field, he led the Hammer, the surprise attack from the rear that crushed the rebel army, while Maekar held the Anvil, the defensive line. The phrase hammer and anvil became a famous military tactic, immortalized in song. Maekar is a warrior, competent but resentful. He's always lived in Baelor's shadow. Currently, he's fourth in line to the throne behind Baelor, Baelor's son Valar, Baelor's second son Mataris. He doesn't expect to be king, and neither do his sons. When Maekar catches Dunk eavesdropping, something unexpected happens. Baelor remembers Sir Arlen. I faced him in the lists at Storm's End. He enhorsed me in the second tilt. Dunk, desperate to salvage dignity, starts to explain, but Baelor cuts him off. I didn't ransom his horse and armor back. I let him keep them. It seemed the right thing to do. This is what true nobility looks like. Baelor doesn't just remember a random hedge knight. He remembers how he treated him, and he vouches for Dunk on the spot, giving him the entrance to the tournament he desperately needs. Later, Dunk attends another of Tansel's puppet shows. This one depicts Florian the Fool and his love Jonquil. Florian was a legendary knight from the Age of Heroes who fell madly in love with Jonquil at a fair and spent his life proving his devotion. Florian's status as a knight was always questioned because the tradition of knighthood didn't come to Westeros until the Andal invasion, thousands of years before Florian supposedly lived. Sound familiar? Florian was possibly a fake knight, just like Dunk might be. The play also serves as meta-commentary. All men are fools, and all men are knights when women are concerned. Dunk is clearly smitten with Tansel. She's also unusually tall, hence too tall, making them physically compatible. Egg hilariously points this out as Dunk's wingman. Dunk then decides to ask Sir to paint his new sigil. He and Egg decide together. An elm tree, the tree they camped under, a shooting star, the falling star they saw in episode 1, colors of sunset, because Sir Arlen loved sunsets. This shield design will survive through history. Brienne of Tarth also finds it in her father's armory and uses it to travel Westeros incognito. How does Duncan's shield end up on Tarth? Martin hasn't told us. Maybe we'll find out in the later seasons of the show. Either way, this moment, Dunk creating his identity with the help of a Dornish puppeteer with Egg, echoes through generations. We then see Lionel Baratheon recruit Dunk and Egg for a rope-pulling contest. It's pure, joyful chaos, muddy and competitive. This scene also shows us how big and strong Dunk really is. Dunk also realizes he needs proper armor, since Sir Arlen's is too small. So he finds Steely Pate, the armorer, who can reforge it to fit his enormous frame. But Pate needs payment, and Dunk doesn't have enough coin. So he does the one thing that breaks his heart. He sells Sweetfoot, one of Sir Arlen's beloved horses. This scene is quietly devastating. Dunk promises Sweetfoot he'll come back for her, tells the buyer to give her extra oats and apples, practically begs him to treat her well. He's betting everything, his horse, his remaining coin, his pride, on this tournament. And the tournament begins. 6 simultaneous jousts, lances splintering, horses colliding, men screaming, blood spraying. Dunk lifts Egg onto his shoulder so the boy can see. This is also the moment Dunk realizes he might not be ready for this. He flashes back to burying Sir Arlen, to sleeping in the rain. His entire life has been preparation for a dream that might be impossible. Later that night, Dunk sits by the fire eating hard salt beef. Asks Egg, do great knights live in hedges and die by the side of muddy roads? He's finally admitting it. Sir Arlen wasn't great, didn't have friends, died alone, and maybe Dunk is following the same path. But he also remembers Sir Arlen being good to him and being an honorable man. The episode ends with him saying, on the morrow we will show them what his hand has wrought. The hard salt beef Dunk chews isn't just food. It's a metaphor for the life he's chosen. Harsh, unglamorous, but his. Not owed to anyone, not given by privilege. Earned.